Good day, everyone. Once again, this is your subject teacher, Miss Leslie Babe. Welcome to your Reading Comprehension class. For the course description, this course covers the application of the comprehension competencies, and this course shall be divided into two phases. For phase 1, it shall address the skills using the prescribed textbook, and for phase 2 is the compilation of reading selections. Now, these are the 11 comprehension competencies. For your first exam, this will include Skill A, Skill B, Skill C, and D. We have SQ5R, sequencing, cause and effect, and comparison and contrast, and we will discuss them today. To start with, let's discuss about reading habits. The good reading habits develop from commitment and concentration to reading. You need to remember that only you can improve your reading skills. Commitment must come from you and should manifest itself in action. Improving at any skills requires desire to learn, your discipline, good instruction, and a great deal of practice. Ika nga, practice makes perfect. And your intention to improve your reading skills will be reflected in how much time you spend reading and building your vocabulary. Now, we'll start with Skill A, SQ5R. Psychologist Francis P. Robinson of Ohio State University developed the SQ5R method to reading. The salient principle behind this method is to enable one to engage actively in reading textbooks and other materials. Another one, it helps process information, which leads to higher memory and mastery of the material. Now, SQ5R would allow you to engage actively in reading, and aside from that, you would likely have higher memory and mastery of the material or the passage that you're reading. And now, the SQ5R approach includes the following. First, we have survey. This is directly related to skimming. All you need to do is to rapidly read the material and get the general overview of the material or the passage that you will be reading. Next, we have questions. All you need to do is to formulate questions before reading the material. Questions are like, who are the characters of this story? And what are the things that I'll be learning in this story? Next, read. Read here pertains to the reading, actual reading itself. All you need to do is to highlight important details, take notes, and somehow, in reading, you will answer the questions that you have formulated. And now, the word respond here is directly related to reflection, in which you need to respond and connect the idea that you have learned from the story to what you have already learned. Next, we have record. Record here, it means taking notes and looking at those important points and simply taking note of them. Now, recite, all you need to do here is to write a summary of the things that you have written and recite the ideas, the important ideas that is in the story. And lastly, we have the review. Here, in this step, all you need to do is to take a review of the notes that you have taken and if you have already answered the questions that you have formulated. So, this is the SQ5R approach to reading. Again, we have survey, question, read, respond, record, recite, and review. Now, let's go to Skill B, sequencing. Now, sequencing is a very important skill in reading comprehension. In this skill, You will be guided on the sequence of event of a story, a biography, an incident, a police report, a diary, or a news story. It determines which happens first, second, third, and fourth, and so until it ends. So this gives us, just like the word itself, sequence, the sequence of events. The mastery of the skill enables you to retell a story previously read, narrate a movie you recently watched, or report to the class an incident happened a while ago. And most importantly, you'll be able to comprehend and organize the previously read text. Now, here's an example of sequence. Here we have the 8 steps to criminal proceedings. The 8 steps of criminal proceedings. The first step is we have charges. It's followed by the pre-trial proceedings, the verdict, arrest, arraignment, appeal, sentencing, and lastly, we have the trial. Now, for your activity 1, these are the steps on how to buy a lot. All you need to do is to arrange this one in sequence. Now, which comes first? Is it verify if the lot is clean, or undergo the legal process of transferring ownership? Again, your task is to arrange the steps on how to buy a lot. Next, let's proceed to skill C. We have comparison and contrast. Now, comparison tells us to get the similarities. Again, I'd like to highlight on that one. Comparison tells us to get to the similarities, while contrast tells us to get to the differences. So here are the highlighted ideas. For comparison, we are looking for the similarities. For contrast naman, we have differences. Now, for your activity 2, all you need to do is identify whether the given sentence is comparing or contrasting. So, for number 1, both mother and father play a significant role in the values formation of their children. Is it comparison or contrast? 2, although researching in the web is practical and accessible, just like researching at the library, but still researching at the library provides you with areas of collection which are credible. Is it comparison or is it contrast? Now here are the vocabulary structure for comparison if you are comparing things. So we have here similarly, likewise, also, both, and not only, but also neither, nor, just like, similar to be similar, to be the same as, to be alike, to compare, is similar to, both, as well, also, for, in the same way, and also, in addition, just as, so, like, to, and the same. Now, for contrast, we have however, in contrast, on the other hand, while, yet, whereas, but, to differ from, to be different from, to be dissimilar to be unlike, conversely differed from, as opposed to, and in contrast with. Now that's for skill C. Now let's proceed to skill D. We have cause and effect. And I believe this is the last one. Now, skill D, cause and effect. Our everyday experiences mirror cause and effect relationship. Now, let's take a look at this example. Now, you did not take your subject seriously, so you always got 75 as your grade. Now, by the time you reach 4th year, you took the mock board and got failed. Now, with that, you weren't able to join the graduation. Because of that, you feel sorry to yourself and promise to take your subject seriously and study earnestly the next time. Now let's take a look at the cause and effect relationship of this passage. Now the cause here is that you don't take your subject seriously. The effect is you got a failing or just a passing grade. Because you don't take your subject seriously, you failed the mock board exam. And because you don't take your subject seriously, you weren't able to graduate on time. Now, here, the effect becomes the cause. Because you weren't able to graduate on time, the effect is you feel sorry to yourself. Now, again, the effect here becomes the cause. Because you feel sorry to yourself, the effect is you promise to do good in studying next time. Now, the cause is an event that makes another event happen, which is the effect. Now, here, the cause may create the effect, and eventually the effect becomes the cause and creates another effect. So, just like this one, the effect becomes the cause and cause another effect. So, again, cause is an event that makes another event happen, and that another event is the effect. And there are times when the effect becomes the cause and it creates another effect. Now, here are the signal words for cause, so you will know that that certain sentence is a cause if these signal words are there. So we have because, due to, the reason, since, and cause. Another is some signal words for effect. We have so, the result, because of this, as a result, therefore, thus, and for this reason. So automatically, if these words are present, that means it pertains to the effect. Lastly, we have your activity 3 here. First is you will make a paragraph, a one paragraph essay about studying. After that one, you need to identify 3 sentences or clauses that shows the cause and effect relationship of the topic discussed, just like this one. So you need to create a table and somehow identify 3 sentences for cause and 3 sentences for effect. And that ends our discussion for today. God bless in your first exam. See you again on our next online class and video lesson. God bless you.